Hello everyone, I'm Tricia Grace Bacaltos and today I would like to present the Darwinian Revolution Theory of Evolution by Charles Robert Darwin.
Darwinian Revolution Theory of Evolution by Charles Robert Darwin.
Who is Charles Robert Darwin? Charles Darwin was born in February 12, 1809 in England. Darwin is a British naturalist that explained the evidence on how evolution might have occurred by natural selection. He started to study at the University of Cambridge and was invited as a naturalist to a great expedition. He boarded the HMS Beagle and spent almost 5 years traveling several continents. He was famous from his book on the origin of species, published in 1859. These are the three main ideas of Darwin's theory of evolution. Number 1. Species change over time and space. The representatives of species living today differ from those that live in the recent past and population in different geographic regions today. Number 2. All organisms share common ancestors with other organisms. Over time, populations may divide into different species which share a common ancestral population. Far enough back in time, any pair of organisms share a common ancestors. For example, humans shared common ancestors with chimpanzees about 8 million years ago, with whales about 16 million years ago, with kangaroos over 100 billion years ago. Shared ancestry explains the similarities of organisms that are classified together. There are similarities reflect inheritance of traits from a common ancestor. Number 3. Evolutionary change is gradual and show the Darwin's view. This claim was supported by the long episodes of gradual change in organisms in the fossil record and the fact that no naturalist have observed the sudden change in appearance of a new species in Darwin's time. Darwin's process of natural selection has 4 components. The first component is variation. Organisms within population exhibit individual variation in appearance and behavior. This variation may involve body size, hair color, facial markings, voice properties, or number of offspring. On the other hand, some traits show little to no variation among individuals, for example, the number of eyes in vertebrates. The second component is inheritance. Some traits are consistently passed on from parent to offspring. Such traits are heritable, whereas other traits are strongly influenced by environmental conditions and show weak heritability. The third component is high rate of population growth. Most populations have more offspring each year than local resources can support, leading to a struggle for resources. Each generation experiences substantial mortality. The fourth and last component is differential survival and reproduction. Individuals possessing traits well suited for the struggle for local resources will contribute more offspring to next generation. Evolution by natural selection is one of the best substantiated theories in the history of science, supported by the evidence from a wide variety of specific disciplines including paleontology, geology, genetics, and developmental biology. The theory has 2 main points and it can be described as descent with modification and survival of the fittest. The theory is sometimes described as survival of the fittest, but can be misleading refers not to an organism's strength or athletic ability, but rather the ability to survive and reproduce. Nature is also capable of much more given enough time and enough accumulated changes. Natural selection can create entirely new species known as macroevolution. Darwin also described a form of natural selection that depends on organism's success in attracting a mate, a process known as sexual selection. The physical and behavioral changes that make natural selection possible happen at the level of DNA and genes. Such changes are called mutations. Mutations are basically the raw materials on which evolution acts. Mutations can be caused by random errors in DNA replication or repair, or by chemical or radiation damage. Most times, mutations are either harmful or neutral, but in rare instances, a mutation might prove beneficial to the organisms. In this way, natural selection. Natural selection guides the evolutionary process, preserving and adding up the beneficial mutations and rejecting the bad ones.
That's all. Thank you for listening.
Evaluation.